But I think that goes back to your point. I can't remember which one of you guys said it.
It wasn't me.
About it wasn't any of you actually. I was listening to a podcast.
That sounds right.
That sounds more right.
Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo.
Joe, when's the draft? What's going on here?
When's the draft?
Are they still doing that?
Question.
Are they still doing that draft thing?
The first time we had Joe out, it was like, who the Bills are going to draft it. Now we've downgraded to just when is the draft? So hold on, we got to take.
We're not fucking talking over again because your internet's bad. We were talking about the draft picks, and they didn't take a running back. There you go. Caught up. What do you want? A transcript?
Yeah, kind of. I kind of do.
We were talking about the NFL draft.
Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo.
So this is Thomas's statement here for the episode.
Okay.
He messaged in and he says, Sean, you do all the administrative work. Greg writes a weekly blog. What exactly does Kyle do? I mean, he's supposed to make Bills those, but I still haven't got mine. And he's unemployed and has plenty of time. Tell him to start pulling his weight.
Also, every time you laugh, think of who said the thing. That's what I bring to the podcast.
Damn it, he got me. Damn it.
He goes, something like, why trust science? What happened to God's will? And I was like, dude, I'm going to use that for any time anyone asks me a question I don't like. My girlfriend's like, where do you want to eat? I'm like, yo, it's God's will right now. He's going to decide. And we just sit in the living room and stare at each other. So I'm like, yo, God's
what do you want to watch
tell
tonight?
us.
God's will, man.
God's will. He'll
Netflix does have the button where you can just say try something. So
it should say God's will.
Should say God's will.
Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo.
I don't want a dime to go to the stadium. I don't care if they move to Austin. I just don't give a shit anymore. I hate billionaires. Fuck them. You bought the team with the two shitty arenas. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
You don't get a dime of my money. I know
like
they'll get the stadium. They'll
Yeah.
get the money for the stadium to go. So it's like my argument doesn't matter. But fuck you and your football team. You can go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Have either of you had a bowl of Josh's Jacks? I have. It's very bad. But I want to know if either of you have tried it and if you have a review of it, or if you will try it this fall.
I think most cereal tastes like cardboard, in my personal opinion.
Whoa, that's a take.
That's a hot take, unless it's
Wow.
like just loaded with sugar, which in that case, I'm just gonna eat like a candy bar instead.
So you're a no cereal person in general.
Yeah, like I can't remember the last time I had cereal.
That's crazy. I don't want to continue this.
Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo.
Matthew, do you have any just general Bills predictions? Like, does Ed Oliver take a big step? Does Cole Beasley stop rapping? Like, is there any?
Look, it's one game. Is it the end of the world?
Yes.
Yes. Absolutely. It is.
Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo.
I know this is so dumb to say,
Yeah.
but had the Bills won in a more convincing fashion, had Josh Allen really ripped it up, I can't. You know what I'm saying.
I don't know. Are we back to this now? Is it just going to be like, what do we talk about? Because the Bills are good and we have nothing to complain about. That was that's exactly the kind of game I think you need as a Bills fan. But Kyle might think differently.
Yeah, speak for yourself. Buddy.
What do you have to worry about? The special teams?
You said complain.
Yeah. So you'll still complain, but not about the Bills. There's nothing to complain about.
Oh, I got a few things.
What do you have to complain about?
Tremaine Edmonds still stinks, dude.
Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo.
Mike Vrabel, obviously huge frat guy, right? Just a huge piece of crap guy, just out there, you know, shotgunning beers before games, doing push-ups. He's still fat. He's doing
You
push-ups.
almost did a Cole Beasley rap. He's a frat guy, a piece of crap guy.
The things that women went up against just to try and play the sport, not like achieve on the field, but just to be able to actually attempt to play the sport is pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, there's this thinking back then, and especially in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, that women, if they exerted themselves too much, it would cause cancer or something to that effect. So there's lots of information of those misleading.
To be fair, that's why I don't exert myself now. That's what I was told when I was younger, and I just want to play it safe and watch my stories.
Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo.
Tiebreaker: how many Stained studio albums have there been?
God, dude.
Closest gets it. Kyle.
When did It's Been a While come out?
I know it's been a while.
I fucking hate you. I hope I don't die.
You'll be fine.
I think I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm talking. That's a big thing.
Well, yeah.
If I'm on a ventilator, I'm still going to do the podcast. You just the whole time Sean's going to be like, I can't edit this.
Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo.
If you tell me that this podcast is cathartic, I'm going to use this tin pumpkin and I'm going to cut open my throat and bleed out and make you watch it.
That would be cathartic.
Can we actually use that as the clip if he does it?
It's only like 2.3 people doing the podcast today, right?
Yeah, Sean, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, say something, Sean, because Sean can't talk. Here we go. I can't wait to hear. I can't wait for people to hear what Sean sounds like, and he still want to do a podcast. I cannot wait for him to say a sentence.
Well, Kyle.
Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo.
And some very questionable calls, which I'm imagining Sean and I will get into because Greg doesn't have an opinion.
I'll still have an opinion on our calls. Those calls were bullshit.
According to Wikipedia, what year was the debut of WGR?
Wait, what is debut?
Debut.
If I said debut, you two would have a separate podcast.
Yeah.
That's
30
true.
minutes long calling me a fucking idiot.
But you would start a second.
You would start a whole new podcast. You would have to, Sean would edit it. You'd have to create an iTunes and a Spotify account just to shit on me for saying debut.
Here's my excuse: is I have COVID and
COVID.
Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo.
He was a classic tweener, so he was fast.
Oh,
and,
so he
a
did
little bit
porn.
bigger. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's a porn.
Oh no,
word.
it's
I have
twink.
No idea.
he said he's a classic tweener, not a classic twinker. You dumb idiot. We're home for the Jets.
Wait, I thought we were going to talk about Antonio Brown for a second.
I brought him up earlier. No one said anything. You want to talk about Antonio Brown? Okay.
Yeah.
Talk about Antonio Brown.
Pretty wild.
Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo.
You call up China, you get them to delete Patrick Mahomes' wife and little brother's TikToks.
So distraught.
They bug Mahomes so much.
Wow.
And they're crying so much that he has to take time away from studying film to console his family, his devastated family.
There's no
What do you mean?
next year. They're not going to win next year. They're not going to win the Super Bowl ever. That's not like, when are you going to learn your lesson? They're never going to win. Like, the quarterback's great. They're never. That's the best football team that ever existed, and they lost because your team won't win. They're never going to win. You can change over time. That's it. That's it.
Kyle?
Well, that covers it. That's the game in a nutshell.
Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo.
Did we ever find out why Cole Beasley all of a sudden lost that tooth? Because that was new, right? Like all of a sudden this year he was missing a toothus, and we never.
He tried to take that coach's lawn furniture. It was dark.
He's the size of a teenager. I was 5'8" in the 7th grade or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was probably coming up rapid and like
That's right. Patio chair just standing there. Ain't no one here. It's gonna be mine. Yeah. Oh, I almost had 4 straight rhymes. Yeah.